Potato, potato, potato on the rooftop.
So I finally dove into Arc Raiders as a solo player. And it fucking rules. Hey friends, I'm Potato and I finally gave Arc Raiders a shot. You know, I'm not a big extraction shooter guy. In fact, I would call myself pretty much a noob. I mean, I played Tarkov when it came out like ages ago into beta. I think it's still in beta, right? And then I played some Hunt Showdown with a friend and we certainly enjoyed it, but I was not good at it. I was not good at it. That's why it took me quite a while to acknowledge what Arc Raiders is and to actually try it out. I heard about it, sure, mostly because my YouTube feed was flooded with Arc Raiders content, but being an extraction shooter and all, I really was not vibing with the idea to play this. See, I'm a solo player and those types of games tend to be difficult to approach without a squad of friends to jump in. Or in other words, I usually get absolutely shit on. Again and again, until I surrender, accept my incompetence, tell myself it's just not for me and quit. But looking closer at all the content and watched on my feed, I noticed something. Solo play seemed not to be just viable, but actually something people recommend. Maybe even the better way to play? Yes, please. So during October Server Slam, I thought to myself, fuck it, I try it out. I mean, I have nothing to lose, right? After launch, after 35 hours under my belt, I'm so glad I did. Arc Raiders is something special, especially as a solo player.
What the fuck is that? Holy shit.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about what the game is first so you guys know what you get into. And trust me, you want to get into this game. Arc Raiders is a new game from Embark Studios. They made The Finals, which is a free-to-play shooter with a big budget, like insane production value. Nice animations, nice graphics, a level destructibility system. Is this how you say it in English? The destruction of the levels is insane, which is probably no surprise since Embark Studios consists of ex-Battlefield devs, when Battlefield actually was good. I mean, you could argue that Battlefield 6 is pretty good right now. I would say it's pretty good right now, so they made Battlefield great again. But yeah, beside the point, The Finals is awesome. Funny enough, Arc Raiders was planned to come out before The Finals in 2021, and it was meant to be a free-to-play PvE co-op looter shooter, but was then pushed back and is now what it is today. Something a little bit different. That's awesome, but what is Arc Raiders now, you might ask? Well, imagine if Hunt Showdown, Escape from Tarkov and your favorite RPG had a baby. You have the PvE elements from Hunt, including various PvE enemies and even big world bosses. What Hunt does so well and Arc Raiders does so too is the sound design. Everything you do makes sound, from running around to looting cars, lockers, weird robots, computer terminals, and whatnot. Sometimes a car alarm might go off or birds get spooked by a presence, and everything can be heard on the map by other players. Combine this with the general extraction and quest structure of a game like Escape from Tarkov. Maps have multiple extraction points, some even need a key for you to get out. When you're out on the map, you try to find specific items or do specific things to complete quests from various vendors in Sperancer, the hub area, and you earn item rewards for them. You even can decide between day and night raids, which is fun. The enemies you encounter besides other players are the Ark, mysterious robots in a wide variety of shapes and sizes. They make weird sounds and they're genuinely creepy, and if they see you, trust me, they're going to try to end you.
Okay.
And sometimes with scary precision. And last but certainly not least, and this is what separates Arc Raiders from the crowd and makes it very approachable and fun in my opinion, is you have meta progression in form of a whole skill tree you pick improvements from. And you do this with the XP you earn from everything you do while on raids. If you loot stuff, you get XP. If you kill stuff, you get XP. If you extract successfully, you get XP. And the cool thing? You keep your XP no matter what. And this makes it, in my opinion, incredibly rewarding, even if you get killed while you're out on the surface. Okay, so now let's address the elephant in the room, okay? The thing that makes or breaks such games for solo players like us, or people who pretend solo players because they don't have any friends to play with. And I will not tell you which type of player I am. How is this game treating solo player? I mean, extraction shooters are notoriously bad for solo players. And I know some MLG, Gen C, drop-shotting 360 pro player, holy shit, say this multiple times in a row. They actually like the challenge and they queue solo in all those team battle royale games and, you know, 360 drop-shotting everything. Okay, they might like the added challenge. But I just get shit on by teams if I play solo. Luckily, Arc Raiders is a wonderful solo experience. And here's why. Just like in Hunt Showdown, the atmosphere and presentation of the game is top notch. It really sucks you in. The sound design, the visuals, the weather system, everything feels like it's made to just immerse you in this world and give you a very interesting playground to explore and be in.
Question is, do I want to put my flashlight on?
Sometimes when you walk down a dark hallway with just your flashlight on, hearing nothing but your own movement and maybe shots in the distance, I kind of forgot that I was playing a multiplayer game, to be completely honest. The implemented quest system makes sure you always have something to do. Find certain items, investigate certain locations, fight certain arcs and loot them for a specific resource. There are daily quests that give you special currency you can use to unlock stuff on the battle pass, just like in Helldivers. It's free and it's just cosmetics and items, but you can earn the currency while, you know, doing those daily quests or surviving a raid. Unfortunately, there's also another currency, and this is reserved for the real money shop. So you can buy cosmetics in a shop. I don't really like that, but it's a live service, so it's kind of normal these days, unfortunately. But let's get back to the cool stuff. Of course, you also have your own goals once you understand all your craft station and the crafting economy, meaning which items you should keep, which you should break down and stuff like that. You can track every upgrade or resource you might need in your logbook, which is incredibly handy. So you're always working on something, and every visit topside always has a purpose. You loot, you fight, you try to complete quests, and then you get rewarded with XP. When you completed your stuff or your inventory is full, you try to extract. Do so successfully and you get even more XP. And of course, congratulations my friend, you keep all your scavenged loot to craft new items, sell them to get some cash, or buy even more powerful gear to have an edge on the next expedition. XP lead to level ups, which give you points to put into your vast skill tree, improving your raider from having, for example, more stamina, making less noise while looting, to bigger improvements like one-hit kill smaller arcs with your melee weapon. And trust me, you need that edge, because the aforementioned arcs are fucking dangerous. As I said, there's a wide array of them. Some just fly around like the flying fucks we all know and hate. Some look like spiders and jump you out of nowhere, giving you a heart attack. Some fire rockets at you with deadly precision. Others are so big you don't even begin to fathom how to fight them. To be honest, fights with the arcs can go south very quickly because they are relentless. In other games you try to get out of the leash range and the enemies just go back to normal. Here they just don't give a fuck. They hunt you down. They try to find new angles or way to get into the building you are. It's terrifying. And this is what makes the game extremely exhilarating. There are real stakes. You make too much noise, bam, arcs are on your ass and you try to fight for survival. You're too careless, not seeing the flying armada of death machines, bam, you're dead. Running into a room like an idiot, bam, jump scare, you're dead. They don't fuck around and it's fantastic. We're even at a point where streamers already screaming for a nerf because the arcs are too hard to manage. Guess what? That's the whole idea, motherfuckers. And luckily Embark seem to agree. This is what makes the game so special, and you can really see that this was meant to be PvE only when they started the project. The enemy AI is awesome. I think my favorite up until this point has to be the Leaper. There are so many funny videos going around about this fucker, and I mean, once you know how to beat him, it's not that bad, but if you're not, you're terrified meeting this thing.
My name is Dom, and these are the best R-Graders moments.
So, if you're a very observant little cheeky bugger, you might have noticed one thing. I haven't even talked about other players yet. And that's because the game rewards you, facilitates you, and gives you stuff to do without having to engage with other players at all. But of course, it's a PvP VE game, so they are there. And we should talk about PvP. It's what you expect, really. Guns feel good. There are all different variants you might expect, like assault rifles, pistols, SMGs, sniper rifles and shotguns. all come in different rarities and can be kitted out with all sorts of attachments like vertical grips, muzzle brakes, and whatnot. Same goes for the equipable shields. So there's nothing really outstanding here other than the incredible sound. Everything sounds punchy and the hit feedback is really on point. But other than that, in my opinion, nothing you haven't seen in other battle royales or extraction shooters, which is not a bad thing, I might add. I feel though it's streamlined enough that you understand which items are doing what and they're intuitive to use. Not like in Tarkov where it's almost like you need a PhD to apply some bandages. Other than Tarkov, it's third person though, and that inherently leads to really ugly ambushes because people can look around corners without exposing themselves. Of course, you also will get shot on sight from time to time, it's just how it goes. I feel though that people are way more willing to cooperate, and I think this has to be because of the arcs being as dangerous as they are. Engaging with other players in combat draws the attention of arcs in the vicinity, and they end you if you're not careful, so you have to think twice if you want to open fire on another player. Also, if you're queuing solo, you are more likely to be matched with other solo players in your raid, so you won't get jumped by a whole squad. At least I haven't encountered this yet. Proximity chat and your emote wheel will help tremendously to communicate your goodwill, and there's a big chance you find some teammates on your raid to complete the more nasty quests.
I prefer like PvE more.
Yeah. Also, it's really nice how many cool people you can meet in this game. This is like, everyone is so friendly.
Yeah, meet like so many friends playing this game.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome.
I cannot stress this enough, and I think this is a good tip to have. Engage with other players, use your emotes, tell them you're friendly, and you're good to go. I mean, if that's what you're after. And by the way, they put a voice changer in the game that you can activate in the menu so your raider sounds unique and you don't have to expose your real voice. It's really, really cool. And as I said, you should communicate. It helps tremendously to increase the trust people have and the willingness to be friendly. So more often than not, and I would say something like 8 out of 10 times, you will encounter this.
Buster down. Let's loot them real quick. See if they have something cool. Gun parts. Hornet driver. Take those. Okay, nice. And then let's get in the elevator. Let's go, let's go. You come with us?
Instead of this.
Dude, I'm friendly. I don't want to hurt you guys. I don't want to hurt you. Last chance.
GG mate. Come on, I won't like.
Sorry, bro. Really.
Not here, mate.
Especially if you play solo. And after some betrayals, you start to develop a sense for when you really have no choice but to engage in combat.
Hey, what's up? I'm friendly. Please don't shoot. Are you friendly? That was the wrong answer, bro.
If you are less confident or just want to be left alone, you always have the opportunity to just decide to get the fuck away from gunshots and other noise. There's no enclosing circle or any other mechanic that forces you to converge onto a specific point. I mean, other than the fact that at one point you will need to extract, and this inherently leads to some, other players being around as well. But other than a time limit on how long the extraction point is open in general, there's no real limit on how often you can call down the elevator, which is the extraction on the first map, for example. So it's a valid strategy to just let others extract first and then go yourself. And a little bit later, you will also unlock hatch keys that you can use on extractions that are instant and they are not time gated at all. I have to say, in the end, having other potential hostile players around increases the tension, but also the possibility to experience so many unique situations, ranging from terrifying to hilarious, infuriating to absolutely wholesome. I think the game would lose a lot of its charm without it. But right now in solo queue, it's not bad to a degree that it spoils the fun I have. And I really hope it stays that way. So yes, as a solo player, I feel like this is something I want to play because most of the times it feels like a single player RPG with an extraction mechanic and not the other way around. In fact, while I'm recording this, I can't wait to jump back in. The just one more raid feeling is real, and all the different enemies and location lead to every expedition being a unique adventure. You just have seen the first map in this footage, but there are so many other maps with different locations and spots to loot and vibes. It's incredible. The weather system, the sound, the atmosphere immerses you in the world, and with all the different arcs around, it sometimes feels like a survival horror game. You develop an understanding of which loot you might need, where to go to get it, and which finds are especially valuable, and everything helps you to progress no matter if you break the stuff down to craft bandages or you just use them to upgrade your workbenches at home. So the flow of dopamine is constant. The amount and threat from the arcs push people to cooperation, which I love, but whether or not this stays like that will be up to the community. I mean, it's the internet after all, and the hype around this game is insane. So please, to everyone watching, lend your fellow raiders a hand. Don't kill them on sight all the time, and let's work on preserving this very unique extraction shooter experience. And to Embark Studios, which will probably never see this video, but just in case, please don't you ever nerf the arcs. Make them even deadlier. Because in my opinion, this is what differentiates this game from other extraction shooters, and we really do have enough generic shooter games out there. I can only speak for myself, obviously, but I want to tell stories about the tension I felt hiding from the arc, trying to complete my quest, the last second extractions after being chased by terrifying robots, stories about fleeting friendships with other players that build out of necessity but stuck out of genuine camaraderie. At the end of the day, we all have the same goal, which is to kill that fucking queen, of course. So I think Arc Raiders is a fantastic game and everyone should try it. Doesn't matter if you're a solo player or you're playing in a group, though I heard those are two different type of experiences because group play seems to be PvP only. And I also think if you normally would not try an extraction shooter, you might want to give Arc Raiders a shot. It is something special, and from what I experienced, the cooperation between players and the general friendliness is so awesome. I'm already seeing a slight shift in that friendliness, and those shoot on sight accidents or incidents increase, maybe because players get bored over time in those type of games. But overall it's not that bad, and I don't know, 7 out of 10 games or 8 out of 10 games I encounter friendly people that generally want to help out. I hope it stays that way in the future because I love PvP. Sometimes I like shooting other people and the fight can be thrilling. And don't get me wrong, I think it should stay in the game because it's a tension that you need in those types of games. You know, it reminds you of always be vigilant and, you know, don't take the safety for granted and observe your surroundings. It gives you that spice that you need. But overall, I'm happy to have friendly conversations and cooperations in a game that is also PvE. So I really hope that we all as a community can help together to preserve that. Because I think this is what makes Arc Raiders really, really special. And it would be a shame if that gets lost. But yeah, that's it for that showcase. If you liked it, would you call the extraction by hitting the like button and maybe tell your friends about that very special place on the internet? I would certainly appreciate it. Also, subscribe because of video game content all the time. And let me know in the comments below if you have played Ark Raiders already or you plan to check it out. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video, and I hope something amazing happens to you until we hear each other again. Take care. Reingehauen.